When I picked up a guy in a bookshop once. So I'm Irish, as you can tell by my accent, and strangely enough, I have a kink for English boys. And it's weird, I don't know, some generational trauma or something going on. And I was in a bookshop one time with my best friend, and we were in there in the German learning section trying to find some books. And when all of a sudden I heard this English accent from afar, and I was like, oh, where's this guy? So I looked around for him. I could just smell him. I was like, oh, fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman, right? So I found him anyway, and I cornered him, and I got talking to him, and I was like, what are you doing here? And we were getting to know each other, we were chatting, la la la. Three of us go out for drinks that night, everything's great. It turns out he's actually my type, he's really funny, and he's English. So that night we go home, we do the deed, everything's fine. I wake up the next morning, and he wants to go again. But back in the day, I was very indirect. I was Irish. I'm Irish and I'm awkward, right? So the next day, he was like, oh, shall we go again? And I was like, oh. Instead of me saying no, I basically danced my way around the truth. And I said, oh, you know, I'm feeling a little bit sore from last night. I said, how about you lie there and make sexy how about you pull yourself off and I'll lie here and make sexy noises? So instead of just saying no, thank you, I literally did a song and dance about it, right? So there he is anyway, and he says, sure, no problem. So he obliged me. So he's lying on his back, he starts pulling himself off. But all of a sudden, he puts his legs in the air. And I'm like, I've never seen this in my life. So he starts pulling himself off, and all of a sudden, I just hear, ah. The guy came and farted at the same time.
Yes!
And
Yes!
he turned to me then in his posh London accent, and he was like, oh, that wasn't very sexy, was it? And I was like, it's fine, man, don't worry about it, right? So, you know, he hung around for a while, and then he left. And I was like, the poor man. So, like, I went and rang everybody, because this was hilarious, right? I just said, don't tell anyone, but this story happened. And so a month passed, nothing happened. And, you know, it was the days of Facebook. This is back in 2018. And there was a room going in my apartment, and I put it up as an advertisement on my status. And all of a sudden, this man who totally ghosted me after this happened slides into my DMs, and he was like, "Oh, I've just noticed your room is going for rent." He was like, "Can I apply?" And I was like, "No, sorry, the vacancy is taken." Right? It wasn't, but I just told him that anyway. So I told this story 8 years after it happened. I gave my first live performance of this in front of a crowd of like 60 people. My boyfriend at the time was in the crowd. Everyone was laughing the way you guys are, right? So that all happened, and 6 days later, I go to a restaurant randomly with my boyfriend at the time, and we're sitting down, eating, minding our own business, and you know the way in Berlin they put you like elbow to elbow with people at the tables. And with that, I'm chatting away with my boyfriend, and the waiter sits a couple down, and I just like look, and I was like literally, I was like, you know, dramatic, hiding behind the menu, and I was like, the fuck? And my boyfriend was like, what's wrong? Do you know him? And I was like, texting him, I was like, that's farting Frank. And my London boyfriend at the time, he was like, you're having a fucking laugh, are you? Like, I was like, he's right there, be quiet. Like, I wasn't even being discreet. So that's basically the story. We never locked eyes, but be careful who you fart in front of, because you could meet them 8 years later. So yeah, that's my story. Thank you.